Hello everyone and welcome back to The Mess. So, today is the tour day. So, if you have not seen the first video where I talked about how I turned my IKEA cabinet into a full-blown terrarium so that I can care for my plants at a much more manageable pace, then go check that video out. I will leave a link for it in the description. But this is going to be the part 2, which is essentially, like I said, the tour. So I didn't have any time in that first video to really take you into the terrarium and to show you everything that's growing in here. But this video is gonna do just that. So we're gonna start at the bottom. We're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna get right into the goods. So looking all the way down here. Oh, wait a minute. Before I do that, I didn't really mention in the last video, aside from the grow light up top, I'm not going to point the camera up because it'll cause the lighting to flicker. But aside from the grow light up top, I have these waterproof grow lights on the side. And the reason I have those on the side is because all these big leaves, as they are growing out, they are inevitably going to block light and it's gonna get very, very dark down here. Now for aeroids, that's usually not a problem, but I also want the leaves to face this way. So a great hack is to have grow lights in front so that when you close it, like if I just show you here, I'll turn them back on. Look at that. So they're getting light this way down here where they're not really getting a whole lot of light up there. So all these leaves, that's why they're all facing us. That is the secret, guys. That's the secret sauce right there. All right, I guess should I just leave that on? That kind of helps with the lighting, I guess. All right, well, on we go, friends. Here we go. So I'm just recently getting into begonias. I actually don't know the names of these. I know that this one right here is a Rex begonia. This guy, I don't even know. This tour is literally starting off as a disaster, I swear to God. But I just saw this thing at Plant Corner. I got a lot of these plants from Plant Corner up here in Harlem. What the hell? Who gave nature the right to do this? The audacity Mother Nature be having. Look at that. So yeah, this is a Rex begonia. There's so many different types of Rex begonias, but they are probably the most beautiful and probably the most common of all the begonias you'll see at garden centers. Over here we have another begonia. So we have red and then we have purple and black right there. I mean, just look at that, guys. It's just spectacular. Over here in between, we have a Dieffenbachia reflector. Look at that. Look at those beautiful colors, guys. Ah, that is just amazing. I just love this plant so much. I remember wanting this plant a couple years ago, and now I finally have one, which is amazing. Let's see, who is hiding back here? This is a Philodendron majestic. So it is Soderoy crossed with Verrucosum. And you know it has Verrucosum in it because there's just a little bit of blush on the back. Doesn't really come off on camera, but especially in the new leaves. Is there a new leaf coming in? I don't think so. I think he only has the 2 leaves. He gets very low light down here, so I don't expect him to grow very fast, but he's gonna eventually climb up, up, up and away and get more light. Let's see. Oh, you're also gonna see a lot of moss. I collected a lot of this moss myself. I went out and into the woods and just got some moss. So as I was collecting moss, I managed to pick up a few little critters here and there. There's a little jumping spider in here somewhere. I think I picked up a little isopod that I saw down in the substrate. So, you know, a little bit of nature's in here. This palmate leaf right here, this is an Anthurium. This is Anthurium. There's 2 names for it. There's Cochabamba, I think, something like that. Or poly something. But yeah, this is a climbing Anthurium. And if you look back there, do you see how it's climbing kind of like a philodendron? Look at those roots. And it's pretty close. It's like sort of attaching to the pole, or the pole, the wood. And oh, there's a new leaf right there. And you know it's a Anthurium, not a Philodendron, because the leaf's coming out small. Also, I think what distinguishes Anthuriums from Philodendron is that Anthuriums have a border. Do you see the border right through the line? Anthuriums have a border around their leaves, whereas Philodendron do not. Like this guy right here. See the border? This is Anthurium luxurians. Now, he's a very slow grower for me. He has not changed in size at all in the 2 years I've had him. He's pretty much just put out leaves as older ones died off. And I put him in here, and within like 2 weeks, he puts out this... Look at this thing. It's been getting kind of like scraped by the wood, so it's a little bit damaged there, but otherwise just a spectacular leaf. Look at how aggressive that freaking texture is. Oh my God, somebody help us. So yeah, I'm just gonna tuck him back there. We're gonna kind of move back down a little bit. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. There's a little guy down here. It might not come off on camera, but he's kind of blue. He's kind of a blue boy. Let's see if I can get the light to show it a little bit. Are you kind of seeing a little bit of blue in there? This is Anthurium Quechua Queen, which is a hybrid by J. Vanini. And there was a new leaf in there. Oh, it's like, it's caught, but you know what? It's gonna pop out. So I'm not even gonna touch it. I don't wanna ruin it. But yeah, cannot wait to see this guy mature. And I've been wanting a blue Anthurium for a while, and I think this guy will fit the bill. So yeah, that is Quechua Queen that I got locally. Let's see. Oh, over here we have a biatch that I have not had the best luck with until I put it in here. That is Philodendron gloriosum. Now, some of you that grow gloriosum might be like, Jake, what are you talking about? Gloriosum is super easy. Just not for me, guys. Just not for me. Honestly, Philodendron in general, I find to be a lot tougher than Anthuriums in terms of caring for them. But let's see. This is a leaf that has come out in the last couple weeks since I planted it. Wow, he's quite big. I was kind of hoping that he would stay a little bit small, which is another thing. I am really not fertilizing anything in here. I might occasionally fertilize some of the seedlings. We'll get to him in a second. I have some seedlings and also the orchids that are up on top near the grow light because I want those to flower, so they're gonna need some nutrients. But I kind of want everything in here to stay a little bit on the smaller size so that they don't outgrow the terrarium too quickly because as we know, aeroids, they are extremely fast growers. So yeah, I was not expecting that leaf to size up so quickly. Let's try to look. It's just a forest, guys. When I told you it's a forest, it's literally a forest. But yeah, there he is. He is a crawler, so he's not gonna climb. As you can see, he is planted in there, but then there's a jar. That is where the Quechua Queen is. So I have some things that are planted in here that I can take out if they get too big, or if I wanna put something else in there, switch it out every few months or whatever, I can do that. Same thing with this guy. Actually, let me just show you this. Can I show you it? Let me just show you the behind the scenes real quick. Look at that. Look. And literally, guys, just like that, I can take this and go put it in my Detolf cabinet or on one of my windowsills or something. And I can put something else in there if I want to. Isn't that great? Because I knew that eventually he's going to outgrow the pot. Let's check on his roots. His roots are looking pretty good. There's a few rotting roots, but there's also a lot of green growing roots. So he should be okay. All right, so there you have my secret. I am going to put him back, or actually, let me just kind of give you another look at the Cochabamba, Bamba Dabba Ding Dong. There's a little Heterasium, my Grammy's Philodendron. I have some blue Selaginella right behind it. It's got this really nice blue inflorescence. Not inflorescence. Fluorescence? Ugh, I'm such an aeroid head, I can't. Okay, so let's go back down here, guys. We're taking this nice and slow, so yeah, this is gonna be a longer video. It's what it is, guys. So get your coffee, your tea, a snack, and just sit back and relax. So this right here is a Philodendron Amazon Sunset, Verrucosum Amazon Sunset. You know, I don't know if it's a cultivar by Equigenera who sells it, or if it's a species. There's also one that might be the same thing or very similar that I believe Tropicals Plant sells as, what's it called, like Roja or something? Something with red in it. But if you look at the back, oh, look how red that is. It puts El Choco Red, aka Ruby Juvenile, to shame because that is a crimson red. Whereas the El Choco is a little bit more on the maroon side. That is amazing. And it looks like he's about to put out a new leaf pretty soon. So I plan to have him crawl, or actually climb, up this stick right here. This, what is it? Not a stick. This is a branch right here. He's gonna crawl up over time and get nice, beautiful leaves. Moving right along, guys. Look at that. You might mistake him for a little weed or something. That is an Anthurium seedling. That is a dock block hybrid with a little bit of something else. I can't remember it offhand. But yes, he is just chilling over there, doing his thing, just looking all cute. Like a little baby Yoda or something. He's just so cute. And then over here, we have a plant that I actually found in Central Park that I thought was really cool. One of my friends thinks it's a tree. It's growing pretty fast, so I might have to take it out, but I thought the leaves were really cool. Watch this be like something poisonous. It's not poisonous. I've had it in here, I've touched it like for several weeks and I haven't had any reaction to it. But yeah, if anyone knows what that is, let me know. I just found it like in Central Park, just like as growing in the woods. So yeah, I don't know, let me know. This tour is a mess. Okay, way back there, hiding is another blue boy. That is Subhastatum. Who are you? Oh, Silver Sword. Oh my goodness. Yes, he is a vine. You can't really tell, but do you see him? He's over there. He's over there. Yeah. Oh, and then way in there, here, there, and throughout, a little bit everywhere, we have heteroecium cuttings of my Grammy's philodendron, which is like the heartleaf philodendron, and then right there is Brazil. So you'll see those here, there, and a little bit everywhere. I almost forgot about this guy. Look. Forgetty Eye. I almost forgetty-eyed about you. He's even got a new leaf popping out. I'm sorry. But, you know, I did plant it pretty far back, so can you blame me? Hey, little leaf. Do your thing, honey. Okay, what do we have? Let's move up a little bit. All right, so this beautiful bouquet of heart-shaped leaves, this is Splendid, which is Melanochrysum crossed with Verrucosum. And it will also have a little bit of blush on the back. It fades over time, so it's probably not gonna show up. Let's look at this new leaf right here. So yeah, you're noticing that these leaves are coming in a little bit smaller, and I do not mind that at all. Honestly, I don't want the leaves to get much bigger than this, guys, because as he climbs, I don't want him to get like super big leaves. I want space for everything else. So it's totally fine that the leaves are getting a little bit smaller. He actually has 2 growth points. So there's that new leaf, and then somewhere, oh, there's another new leaf right there. And yeah, it doesn't really, it's not really showing the blush. Maybe it only happens in higher light. He's getting pretty low light. Here's another little bit of that Rex Begonia that I have over here. So just in case this guy down here gets a little bit too big and I want to put something else there, I still have a little bit of him hiding over here. So, because he's just so fabulous. I mean, look at that. And this is a guy that I think I have him in his own pot somewhere down here. But if you look, he is rooting. Like, he is on there. Like, if I just give that a little tug, he's on there. He is clinged, honey. He is clinged and cha-chinged, and I don't know. It ain't no thing. I don't know what I'm saying. But he's loving that little area right there. And he's just growing up, taking over the world. We have another little weed. I mean, I won't call it a weed because I intentionally put it in here. It's a plant that I thought was kind of cool. It looked like a fern. I don't think it's a fern. It looks kind of like a vine or something. But yeah, and again, if you guys, those of you that live in the Northeast, if you know what that is, please let me know. We have this guy right here. Something else I found. Look at that. It's got like a little pattern on the leaf right there. Isn't that cute? I don't know what happened to these leaves. Anyway, all right. Moving back down here, we have this really cool guy with this like spider-looking venation. This is Fairchild Crystallinum crossed with Red Crystallinum from NSE Tropicals. It puts out this really nice long leaf, and it kind of reminds me of a lighter green version of Doc Block's unreleased Sport Hybrid Black Widow. And Black Widow, it has this recessive trait where the veins are just like, they just look really, really awesome. So yes, go Google image or Instagram, hashtag search Anthurium Black Widow, Doc Block Black Widow. It's a really spectacular thing. And it hasn't been released publicly as of recording this. So it might be a few years because he said it's a recessive trait. But this thing is like the closest thing I'll probably ever get. So yeah, I'm loving it. And he's also in his own pot, you can see there. I have some preserved Spanish moss. Preserved meaning that it's been kind of dried out and painted green. So it's not like living, it's kind of like taxidermized. You know what I'm saying? You don't taxidermize plants, but you know what I'm saying? It's taxidermized. So yeah, I just use that to cover and camouflage the pot because I don't want the pots to be shown. He's got a new leaf coming in there, very exciting. Can't wait to see what it looks like. He's got another leaf back there, but you know, it's not really much. It's not much to write home about, but this leaf is really nice. Moving up, we have this little bronze boy. Look at this little copper boy, little penny boy. It's like a shiny little penny. This right here is Anthurium Dressleri. This is a plant that I nearly killed. I thought it was gonna die, but then it came back to life, and it's just loving its little area right here. Again, he is in his own little personal pot because he's very special to me. I didn't want to risk upsetting his root system by planting him in here. So he is just growing right there. They are a slow-growing species of Anthurium, so he'll probably stay there for a very long time. Let's move across a little bit. We're gonna kind of work our way up on either side. This over here is a recent acquisition. This is... I don't even know who you are. Who are you? Who are you? I don't even remember. You are... Oh, Squammy Call Pink? Jake, I can't with you. So yes, very, very dark leaf. Check. Aggressively hairy stem. Check. Pink back, check. I mean, this plant is just, and this one's a little bit more pink. That one, you know, it's kind of like a salmon pink or like a bubblegum pink. I just love this thing. And he seems to be doing pretty well. He's got some rootage there, and he looks pretty perky, so he looks pretty good. I actually planted him in there. So yes, and his growth point is still looking pretty perky as well. It's like way in there. It's kind of hard to see. And then over here we have Philodendron rugosum. Leaves has that very, very fine little patterning on it. So yeah, he's just a little baby, just chilling in there. Right here we have a Hupersia, also known as the... What are you? I don't even know what you are. Tassel fern. My God, I should have written down a list and read off everything so I looked more professional. And this is a little fern. I don't remember what kind of fern it was. Maybe it's like a rabbit's foot fern. Like, do you see like that? That might be a rabbit's foot fern. But yeah, so he's just clinging onto there for dear life. Oh my goodness. Okay, now we're gonna pan back over here. This is Anthurium rugulosum rude from Equigenera. I don't know why it's called that, but it's a certain form, I guess, of rugulosum. And he's a very, very tall boy. We go back down here and you go way down there, he goes all the way down there. All the way down there, people. All the way down there. So yes, it looks like his roots are still white and still looking healthy down there. I know you can't see anything in the camera. What the heck, Jake? So, but yeah, he looks pretty good. So yeah, I've been wanting this guy for a while. They, from what I understand, are not the easiest to care for. Even though the leaf seems pretty thick, people say that they're hard to grow outside of a terrarium setting. So we'll just have to see. This guy right here, the leaf is still pretty young, so you don't really see a lot of the belate characteristics yet. This is Rotundistigmatum. How do I remember that name? I don't even know. But yes, I'm very excited to see how he's just going to buff out in the next week or so. Because, yeah, he's really beautiful. He's probably one of my hardest Anthuriums to care for because his leaf is so thin, he dries out so easily. And he crisps up so easily. It's hard for him to hold on to leaves. So I'm like, okay, you're gonna love it in here and you're gonna stay in here forever and ever and ever. So, oh, and then behind we have the queen herself. We got a little juvenile Anthurium warquianum. Let's see, where's the growth point? Where's the growth? There's the growth point. So not doing nothing yet, but let's see. It looks like there are some roots in there that are attaching to the cork. I am not even, I'm like doing this to the camera. It's probably disorienting, I'm sorry. But yeah, that is a little pendant girl right there. And I'm giving her this little area right here. So as she puts out leaves, she'll be able to take up this space right there. You have to really think about how is a plant going to grow, and you don't want it to be limited to one space. You really want to say, okay, where's this plant gonna want to go? So like this guy right here, this dark boy, I have him here because he's gonna eventually start climbing up and over here or up and out here. So he has this open space to really flesh out, you know what I'm saying? Over here on the wall, we have an Anthurium crystallinum. This was the guy that I propagated in my Anthurium video. I think my most recent Anthurium propagation video. It was a crystallinum. I called it a crystallinum type, or like an AFF crystallinum, because it didn't look like a regular crystallinum. It looked a little bit different. It looked a little bit special, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but right now he's looking like a classic crystallinum, so maybe he is. I don't know. But this is the one that had put out the kind of long-ish leaves. So we'll just have to see. But he's looking just fine and dandy. And it's just a little stump, just a little chunk attached to the wall right there. And he's looking happy as ever. So, all right, let's see. Am I missing anything back there? I don't think I am. Oh, back over here, that's a little sad Melanochrysum that may or may not survive. I don't care. You know what? Read between the lines, girl. Read between the lines. In my house, you have two options. And this goes for all of you. You have two options. You can live, or you can die. And that's it. And that's why I will never have kids, because I would probably get arrested. Because what if the kid gets root rot? Like, what am I gonna do? I can't give a kid Physan. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I wouldn't know what to do. So over here, I digress. We're moving on to this very, very white Philodendron Birkin that I got from Foliage Garden in the Flower District. Probably my favorite store in the Flower District. You know, I'm not really into most Birkins, especially when they put out leaves like this. They just look kind of eh. But when they put out leaves like that, that's why I got this plant, because I was like, ooh, something's kind of funky about this one. So yeah, I love it when they're nice and white. I don't know if it's a light thing. I have no idea. You know, he's getting so light here. It's not super bright, so I don't know. We'll just have to see. Let's pan over. Oh, so this boy, front and center. This right here I got from an Etsy seller who sold it to me as a Ace of Spades hybrid. Now, I don't know if it is or not. All I know is that I saw the picture of her mother plant and I was like, sold. So this is the guy that puts out either purple leaves or red leaves. You know, they're kind of purple when they're small and they get kind of maroon red as they get bigger, and then they eventually harden off to this. And it has a little red dot sinus right there. Do you see that? That's really cool. So yeah, that is that guy right there. And I've been moving him around I've been moving him around as I've been moving stuff around. So I can literally just take him out of the wall, and there's a little area. So like I used to have him over there, then I put him over there. I've been experimenting, but everything seems to be in its final place, at least for now. This guy, I did not plan to put him here, but this is Anthurium vicia, the king Anthurium. And he's a very slow grower, so I think he'll do just fine in here. He's not gonna outgrow it anytime soon. That's a new leaf coming in, so hopefully it'll still keep getting bigger, and it will have all this space right here. Let's see, over here we have Anthurium Bessier AFF that I got from First Floor Foliage. She has like the best Anthurium collection. Her and her sister have literally the best Anthuriums. It's nuts. Speaking of nuts, look at this just popping off over here. And these I will call weeds, because when I picked my moss outside, these were just kind of like hitchhikers. And yeah, they're just kind of growing, so they were not intentionally planted there. He's a weed, but he's kind of a pretty weed. Look at that, he's kind of a cute one. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Over here, I think it's worth highlighting. This is reindeer moss. Looks very different from the other moss. I actually got this moss, not from outside, but I got this from Plant Corner. Let's see, what else? Oh, beautiful blue Selaginella or Selaginella. I don't know how to say it. Look at how blue that is, guys. Oh my gosh. You wanna find plants that give you pops of color in your terrarium. Oh, and here's a dark blue right here with a pop of color. Look at that. This is a Rhodospatha, which is an entirely different genus, like Philodendron, Anthurium. It's an aeroid. It might make it, it might not, guys. I'm gonna be honest. It kind of had like root rot, and those are the roots, they're kind of dead. So like, I just have him on here and he's getting a lot of light, and I keep trying to tuck his root in, but apparently he wants to die. I don't even... After I'm finished with this video, I'm gonna have to try to tuck that in, because I do want him to live, because, you know, he's cool. Look at the underside of the leaf, and it's nice and dark. But yeah, he might not make it. He might even be like dead at this point. I don't know. But we'll see. Like I said, you either live or you die. It's up to you. Okay, let's pan over. I'm gonna try to do it slowly so I don't disorient you. Ooh. Right here is just a lone little leaf of variegated Philodendron Burley Marks from my big plant, my big tree plant that was recently featured in a plant haul. So he's planted way back there somewhere. Is there a growth point? Is there anything growing? There is something in there. It's kind of hard to see, but so yeah, so hopefully the variegation will remain and he'll just look nice as he puts out new leaves. Right here is a rickrack cactus that I just got for my birthday from one of my in-laws. My sister is about to get married, and her fiance's mother is also really into plants, and she got me this guy. So I actually separated this guy because he was a lot bigger, but I separated him. I put a little bit of him here, and then I put a little bit of him in his own pot in my other cabinet. So he's living his two best lives. But isn't that cool? I have a spare pot right there for whatever can grow in there. It's kind of an awkward place for pots. And he doesn't even want to focus. There we go. So it's like it's in there. So something that can go in there, that can vine or something, will have to go in there, but I don't know. Moving on. Here we have this really crazy begonia, Begonia Bike, B-A-I-K, that I got from a local friend. And look at the, I mean, just like, look how aggressive that is. That is just offensive. That needs to be canceled immediately. That is just too beautiful for this world. Like, what is nature thinking? Oh my goodness, nature is just, you know what? All that craziness in those Avatar movies, it's real, guys. It's all real. It's not CGI. I mean, it is, but like, you know, it's all based off of real stuff. Like, Mother Nature, she crazy. She crazy. And look, it's flowering. Oh, wait, hold on. Hey, look at you. I don't know how long they're gonna flower. I got it when it was flowering, so we'll just have to see. Another Central Park weed. living his best life, putting out all those roots down there. Right here is another little chunk of an Anthurium that I put onto the wall with a few growth points. I think at least 3. Oh, I think, oh, can I focus it? I think, oh, do you see that right there? I think a new leaf's about to pop out. I'm not gonna touch it. And maybe this one will put out a new leaf too, so maybe I'll have 3 growth points. Sometimes Anthuriums will put out multiple growth points, but only one of them will activate. But if you're lucky, 2 or 3 or more will activate. So, but yes, this right here is, oh, who are you? You are Carla Blackii crossed with Luxurians. Yes, that is who you are. And you're already showing your belate characteristics, so it's easier for me to remember who you are. This right here, it's a complex hybrid, but I'm very interested to see how he is going to mature, because one of the parents is like a round leaf. So that will be interesting. Hopefully he'll look quite different from all the other boys. Down here, we have another hybrid. I believe this is a Jack of Clubs open pollinated. So Jack of Clubs crossed with some mystery boy. So just a Jack of Clubs hybrid. Right here, we have a piece of my Wendlingeri. This is Anthurium Wendlingeri. This is the one that puts out that really crazy long corkscrew inflorescence. And he's just looking fine right there. So yeah, he's gonna have all this space right here, this little narrow area, so his new leaves can just come down and be nice and pendant right there. He's also in his own pot, so when he gets too big, because they can get big, I'll be able to take him out and put him in a basket and properly, you know, put him on display somewhere. Maybe like up here or something with all the big boys. You know, like he'll eventually get that big. That's a Palladiflorum. So yeah, maybe he'll replace him one day. Ho ho, you better watch out. All right, and yeah, there's the new leaf coming in hot. So yeah, probably in like 3 weeks. They take like, you know, 2-3 weeks to fully form. So let's see, what else do we have? Anything else over here that I missed? I don't think so. All right, we're gonna slowly pan over here. We got to the Bessier, we got to the weeds. This right here is kind of like a rehab situation. It is Phalaenopsis schilleriana. It's a species Phalaenopsis that is used for a lot of the Phalaenopsises that you see in garden centers, because it puts out a very long, branching, arching flower spike with pink flowers that are fragrant. And he was doing so well. I was like, oh, you're gonna bloom like any month now. Like probably within the next month or 2, you're gonna bloom. And then literally overnight, this orchid, along with a lot of other ones, just like got root rot. So I don't know what I did wrong. I still don't know to this day, which is a little upsetting because I wish I knew so I could learn. But you know what? That new leaf is coming out. By the way, that new leaf, it's taken a month. And that's how slow these orchids grow. That is a month right there. Yeah, so, but he's got new roots. See that? And I'm just using this little preserved Spanish moss to cover this little hanging wire thing. So I'm gonna put that back there to disguise it. It's all about the illusion, guys. It's all about sight lines. Okay. Oh, hello you. This is, oh, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, like Hawea. I'll put the name on the screen. This is another orchid. It's a oh, epilepsy, warning. Okay, there we go. That is a miniature orchid. Those flowers have been in bloom for a few weeks, so hopefully they continue. I read online that they can last a couple of months, which is good because I like my flowers to last a long time. Speaking of things lasting a long time, this kind of shaggy boy here is an Oncidium Sicumarguerite, pronunciation, I don't freaking know. But yeah, he spikes, like these things spike for months, and it takes months for them to form. And then they finally bloom, and they bloom for like a month or so. So he bloomed back in, I think, January, and literally right as the flowers started to fall off of his old spikes, these new ones started to pop up. Oh, this is going to trigger the epilepsy. Oh boy. Okay, so yeah, so these guys have been forming the last like 3 or so months, so maybe another month, hopefully. It looks like they're just starting to form their individual buds. It's not really focusing because it's so thin. And he's got a new one there and there. So yeah, he's just gonna, if he just wants to keep spiking and blooming all year long, I'll keep him. But the moment he stops, I'm probably gonna replace him or chuck him, like, no offense, but I mean, you know, oh, the light. I'm sorry guys. So yeah, his leaves are kind of shaggy, but you know what? He puts out really nice white flowers, and they have a nice kind of spicy smell, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it exactly. Anyway, over there is, I believe that's a polka dot plant, just to add a little bit of color. It's just a filler plant at this point. There's a pot in there, so at some point, if like I get another orchid, like something very high light, something that wants a lot of light, this gets a lot of light up here. So I'll probably put like an orchid in there at some point. As you can see, the moss up here looks a little bit dried out. It doesn't look quite as lush because it's getting a lot of light. It's getting a little bit burnt. It doesn't stay as wet up here as it does lower, like down lower, down to the lower. What are you trying to say, Jake? Like down there. It dries out a lot faster up here. So yeah, it's getting a little bit dried out, but you know, I just spray it every few days or whatever. Here are the fans. More weeds! But you know what, I kind of like it because it's kind of like, oh, look at all it just adds more texture. Like, is that a weed or is that an Anthurium? You know, like, what is it? I don't know. This is a Phalaenopsis equestris. One day it'll spike. It's one of those ones that spikes and it just spikes and stays in spike forever, I think. Oh, this is some like moss or whatever this is. I got it in Lake George while I was on vacation at Lake George. So it's a little bit of Lake George. It's a little bit of Lake George. We probably have the same moss in Central Park, but you know. It's just the fact that it came from Lake George. And then over here is a Brassivola nodosa. They put out these beautiful little white flowers that are only fragrant at night, and they smell like old lady perfume. A lot of orchids tend to smell like that, the fragrant ones. But yeah, so I have not gotten him to respike yet. But I mean, look at him. He looks happy. He is already attaching. His roots are attaching to the cork. I don't think I could even take him out if I wanted to. So, you know, I mean, any day now. Come on, dude. You can do it. And then back there, I have a Vandacostylus pinky, which is a miniature Vanda orchid. Again, haven't had that one spike for me yet, but hopefully with this super, super bright light, it will spike ASAP. So, let's look around. Did I miss anything, guys? Oh God, I feel like I had to have missed something. I don't know. I think I got everything. So yeah, guys, this was the tour. I'll do one more pan down. And you get to hear my squeaky ass floor. So yeah, hopefully this was not too chaotic. Hopefully it was a little bit relaxing. And hopefully you enjoyed it. So this was part 2. This was the terrarium tour. So let's see, I guess the next video will be maintenance or a 6 to 8 week update, because at this point it's been over a month. And by the time I put the third video out, it probably will have been, you know, 6 or 8 weeks or whatever. So yeah, let me know what else you want to see featuring this terrarium, if anything. I'll probably put out at least one more video that's either maintenance, probably maintenance and an update. But if they're both a little bit too long, then I might break it up into 2 videos. I'm gonna milk it for all it's worth, baby. But yeah, that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Just gonna back up a little bit. Hopefully I don't trip like I did last time. And don't mind the tripod. So this has been Plant Gay for Life. have a nice life until next week. Make good choices or don't. I don't care. All right, bye-bye.